am going to mute everyone just so that we can all hear in the best way possible, and then everyone will be able to unmute a little bit later in the service. Here we are on this final Shabbat in the year 5780, a year of uncertainty and a year of resilience, a year of struggle and a year of strength, a year of mourning and a year of comforting, a year of disappointment and a year of learning, a year of yearning and a year of creative innovation. My friend Rabbi Jessica Borowski keeps a journal every night, but it's no ordinary journal. In it, she writes just one sentence a day. She makes the purposeful decision of what she wishes to hold on to and what she wishes to let go of. So too on this Shabbat, we can determine what we wish to embrace from this past year and what we are ready to let go of. May this Shabbat be a restful, restorative, reflective place in time, palace in time, preparing us to enter the year ahead with an open heart and a renewed spirit. We're going to begin by showing our PowerPoint. And I invite everyone who has candles to join me in lighting them as we begin to welcome in this beautiful day of rest. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. We continue with Kiddush. If you have a glass of wine or grape juice, I invite you to raise it and fill that cup of joy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ava u'vratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש Shabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
And finally, like we would do around any family Shabbat table, we as a temple family gather together and also say our bracha, our blessing over our challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. B'teavon. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. נריע, נריע לצור אישנו, לקדמה פניו ותודה. נריע, נריע לצור אישנו, מאוד נריע לו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. We continue in welcoming Shabbat by singing a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru, shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song. We welcome the Shabbat bride. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor בדיבור אחד, איש בידו אליו מיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה.
Now that we have welcomed in Shabbat through song of our heart and our soul, we turn to the Baruch Hu saying, yes, we are ready to pray.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yalalai lai lai, 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 yalalai lai lai.
We turn to the Ma'ariv Haravim, our prayer for creation, just a few days before Rosh Hashanah, the anniversary of our creation. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Haravim b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, uvitzvuna mishnei itim, umachalif et hazmanim umesader et hachachamim, HaKochavim v'mishberetehem v'rakia kirtzono. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your great name fills the universe with majestic might. Your word creates twilight and dusk, as your wisdom opens the gates of night. Your discernment separates the changing seasons and causes the passage of time. The stars arrayed across the sky reveal your design. You roll out the cycles of darkness and light, shaping day and night. You sweep away day and carry the world into nightfall, setting day apart from nighttime. You are God of all we can perceive and all that is beyond our perception. Living eternal God, be our sovereign to the end of time. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Haravim. Love beyond all space and time. Your love enfolds your people, Israel. We receive it in your teaching, your gift of Torah, sacred obligations, discipline, and law. So let us speak these teachings when we lie down and when we rise up, and find joy forever in your Torah and mitzvot. They are the very essence of our life, ours to ponder and study all of our days. May we never lose or be unworthy of your love. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, God, who loves your people, Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Ve'ahavta את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai, that wherever we are, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to the promise passes through the wilderness, and that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
כיבד אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Fall of evening, darkness all around us. The 3-year-old wakes up crying, sees monsters in the shadows, and we lie awake for hours dreading monsters that are real. Eventually you learn there are no charm lives, no special immunity from suffering and loss. We cannot pray for safety, only for the strength to endure. So let us build a canopy while we can, for the darkness falls on all of us. There is no shelter from the shadows, no protection from the terrors of night, nothing but the warmth of a loving touch, comforting reminder you are not alone.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, Leshalom, Ve'ha'amidenu, Shomreinu Lechayim, Ufros Aleinu, Sukat Shlomecha, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Abraham Joshua Heschel once wrote, "The words of our prayers must not fall off our lips like dead leaves in the autumn. They must rise like birds out of the heart into the vast expanse of eternity." The Amidah literally means the standing prayers. And we might not physically stand with our bodies, but let us stand upright, directing, or let us sit upright, directing our hearts toward God as we offer these prayers so central to our tradition.
Adonai sefatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי וגבוה לי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you. Adonai, my rock and my redeemer.
We turn to our Torah part of the service this evening as we're going to be reading from Nitzavim Vayelach, a portion toward the very end of our Torah. We are getting there at this point in the year. But for our Aliyah, because this isn't, actually, it is. For our Aliyah, anyone who has a birthday or anniversary, I lost track of what time of the month we were in. Anyone who has a birthday or anniversary, I want to invite you to unmute and to offer this blessing before the Torah. Any September birthdays or anniversaries? I know we have at least one birthday today.
We did.
Happy birthday.
So let's join together on the count of three.
What is this?
1, 2, 3. Baruch
You Adonai,
Baruch
Baruch Adonai Baruch
Adonai.
Baruch Ato Adonai Eloheinu melech olam Asher bachar banu mikol ha'aminim v'natan lanu et Torato Baruch Ato Adonai Eloheinu Torah. Amen.
Amen. Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem lifnei Adonai Elohechem rashechem shivtechem ziknechem v'shotrechem kol ish Yisrael tapchem neshechem וגרך אשר בקרב מחניך מחוטב עצך עד שואב מימיך לעוברך בברית אדוני אלוהיך ובעלתו אשר אדוני אלוהיך כורת עמך היום.
On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Baruch Ato Adonai Eloheinu melech olam Asher nasan lanu Torah temet V'chaye olam Baruch Ato Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. So who is everyone who is here who has a birthday today?
Say me.
So,
Me.
So we have Mike Ashray, we have Debbie,
And
White
Richard
slash
and
Pine.
Max.
What?
Debbie and Richard and Max.
Oh, all 3 of you. What a blessing. That's awesome. And I know that Elliot Swartz here had a birthday yesterday. Is there anyone I'm missing?
Hi, it's Terry Chapman. Mine is Monday.
Oh, happy birthday to you as well. So I'd love to offer a blessing over each one of you, and I'm so glad that you can participate in this honor. Because even though it's a cacophony of voices, when we all sing together on the Torah blessings, it is so nice just to hear everyone's voice and to hear it around the Torah. Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Leah v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bring blessings to each and every one of you as you celebrate your birthday this year. Looking back at your life that has been well lived so far, and looking forward to all the challenges and joys to come. Knowing that all of us in your congregation pray for your continued strength and well-being, that your passion remains strong and your joy undimmed. We ask God's blessing on you, that you shall go from strength to strength and from blessing to blessing. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
Is there anyone who happens to have an anniversary in the month of September?
Looks like Reva and Steve Skoll, Rabbi.
Oh, that's right.
Brian and
All right.
Jan. I did already, sweetie.
Pam and Eric.
Oh, so we have a few anniversaries in September. How wonderful. I'm so glad that we could come together to offer this blessing over each and every one of you. Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu. May the one who blessed our mothers and fathers before us under the canopy of life commitment bring blessing to you on your anniversary. Many and varied have been your experiences since your wedding day. In joys and trials alike, O God, you have been with them. So may you continue to be with them for many, many years to come. As your marriage has brought blessing, enriching the lives of those you've touched, So may the blessings you've enjoyed together continue to overflow with health and goodness, with joy and life-affirming spirit filling your hearts. We all celebrate your sacred partnership for years upon years, and together let us all say, Amen. Yasher Koach, congratulations. So now that we've said these blessings for people in our community celebrating birthdays and anniversary, I'm going to offer some words of Torah for all of you. During the book of Deuteronomy, Moses recounts the Jewish people's evolution from a nation of Egyptian slaves to a people finding their identity in the desert. He recounts with staggering detail every place they visited during their 40 years of wanderings. He discusses each rebellion, each challenge, each war, and each step forward. But as Moses' death grows nearer, and the book of Deuteronomy nears its close, a peculiar thing happens. Moses stops talking about the past. Instead, he speaks to the present and the future. Our Torah portion, Nitzavim Vayelach, begins, Atem Nitzavim Hayom Kulchem Liflei Adonai Elohechem. You stand this day, all of you, before the eternal your God, your tribal heads, your elders, and your officials, the men of Israel, your children, your wives, and even the stranger within your camp, from the woodchopper to the water drawer, to enter into the covenant of God, which the eternal your God is concluding with you this day, with its sanctions, to the end that God may establish you this day as his people and be your God. Moses is speaking to the entire community, from the tribal leaders to those of little status, asking every one of them to enter into a covenant with God. Not yesterday, not years ago, but today. In fact, the Torah portion repeats the word Hayom, today, 12 times. For Moses, there is only today. He will have no tomorrow. His final moments are approaching, and he is determined to make the most of every single moment he has left. Hayom, there is no time like the present. Moses knows that he has no future, but his people do, so he focuses on them. Our sages ask why Moses' final requests include having the people enter a covenant that they had already committed to years ago. Why would Moses insist that they recommit at this moment before entering the Promised Land? 20th century Hasidic Rabbi Shmuel Bornstein taught that when two friends form a strong foundation, it is not for the present, for a time when they are very close, but for the future. Sometimes, as time passes, circumstances take them further apart, but their early foundation can sustain them. During Moses' lifetime, miracles were common, and the Israelites lived the life they had always known in the desert. The covenant at Sinai was sufficient for those circumstances. But now, in this week's Torah portion, they prepare to enter the land of Israel, and there is reason to fear that once they entered Eretz Yisrael and would be subject to the laws of nature and circumstances they could not predict, that their love might be weakened, and their first covenant would not be sufficient. Moses asked the people to be fully present, to commit to God again now, to ensure that they would have a commitment tomorrow. The second covenant came to ensure that the love of the Jewish people for God would continue for all eternity. The finalization of the covenant offered the Israelites a firmer foundation in their relationship with God, and they offered Moses an everlasting legacy. Leaders are led by their vision of the future, teaches Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, and it is this that inspires others. After reflecting on his past, Moses came to understand that what matters most is not what he has done, but what he has left for the future. Moses prays that his leadership, his deeds, and his teachings will help pave the way for a better future for all that follow him. It is not surprising that we read this portion just before we come to Rosh Hashanah. The High Holy Days remind us that life is short and unpredictable. They implore us to examine our souls and determine what we can do to leave a legacy of which we are proud. What more can we do to create a better world for all those who follow? What commitments can we make today? Hayom. What connections can we deepen today to make a better future for ourselves and those we love? Perhaps Moses' greatest legacy is that, like him, we continue to ask these questions. Like him, may we be inspired to act on them. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will.
Amen. Shabbat. Olam chesed yibanei, yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai, lai. 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 I will build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. And you must build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. And if we build this world from love, yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. Then God will build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam chesed, olam chesed yibanei. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam chesed yibanei. Yadadai, dai, dai. Die, die.
I ask you to put your names in the chat of anyone who is in need of healing of mind, healing of body, and healing of spirit. And in particular, we're thinking about Tovia ben Avraham, Yeruchel bat Sarah Leah, Tim Palno, Daniel Fisk, Nadine Wilkerson, Elaine Grove, Karen Fowler, Steve Rivaskol, Sarah Gill, and everyone who's affected by the fires. Anita Newman, the Schneider family, Marty Spiegel, Paige Montano, Sylvia Davis, and Hannah. Sylvia Hannah Mack, Kulak, Tovia ben Avraham, Yeruchel bat Sarah Leah, Tim Palno, Daniel Fisk, and Jane Phil, Matthew Josephson, Steve Skoll, Sarah Gill, Judith Summerstein, Eli Feinerman, Rabbi Gary Spiro, Linda Gren, Sandra Newman, Josie Gianetto, Steve Gianetto, Jackie Barley, Ashley Prestwood, everyone who was a part of 9/11, Richard and Janice Sorote, Alexandra Levine, Perry Silver, Sheldon Bachner, Dennis Vollis, Valerie Ashley, Josh Montgomery and Susan Felber, Joy Licht, Steve Schwartz, Phil Igner, Clarice Evans, This Country, Jennifer Hamburg-Grosky, Marguerite McMahon, Harriet Perlman, Robert Weiser and Stanley, and for everyone, and Jerry Sorkin, and for everyone else who is in our thoughts this evening, whose names perhaps we haven't said out loud, but who undoubtedly we're holding close to us. We offer these words of healing, our Mishaberach prayer, in honor of each of them.
מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu, mekor habracha. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, God, whose healing presence is with all of those in need. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen. Today, we are observing the 19th anniversary of September 11th, a dark day in our nation's history, a day where so many innocent lives were taken, a day where people put their lives on the line in order to help save and protect others. And so in honor of everyone who died on that day or who died as a result of that day, I offer this prayer, Alden Salavi's At the Hand of Terror. Creator of all, source and shelter, grant a perfect rest under your tabernacle of peace to those who died in the 9/11 attacks of the United States. Remember the works of their hands and the message of their hearts. Grant their families peace and comfort for your name's sake and for the sake of all those who perished. Bring an end to violence and terror speedily and in our days. May their memories be sanctified with joy and love. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life and a living blessing in our midst. And in addition, of course, to everyone who died on 9/11, we think about all of those first responders, all of those people who went into the buildings, who were there in order to help others, and who got sick and died as a result of what they breathed in the aftermath of 9/11. We think about each and every one of them. In addition, we are in the period of mourning for Stanley Schneider, Ray Murphy's uncle, for Elizabeth Benz, Bonnie Leopold's good friend, for Alan Binstein, Reva Skoll's brother. We're also observing the yard sites for Samuel David Balsam, Jacob Casper, Helen Cohn, Mathilda Rose Cuppersmith, Rose Cushman, Sam Lawrence Davis, Anne Jo Dypoff, Franklin Elias, Belle Frankel Jacobs, Ezra Leonard Frucher, Catalina Gonzalez, Celia Gottfried, Felicia Hassapis, Ephraim Hafnung, Clara McKeeve Kaplan, Albert Corman, Ben Levin, Joseph Lieb, Catherine Loeffler, Carla McKeeve, Nathan Marcus, Annie O'Neill, Ruth Opner, David Orgel, Jackie Pike, Sylvia Richmond, Anna Ross, Bessie Rubin, Harry Scott, Ray Scott, Harry Sherman, Myron Sobel, Herman Steinberg, Evelyn Tobias, David Wield, Morris Weiss, Harry Weisswasser, Donald Weller, Pauline Wolkowski, Morris Zamos, Bertha Zimmerman, and George Zimmerman. In memory of all of them, let us together join in saying these words of Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach herotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon v'yomachon, uv'chayed kol beit Yisrael, b'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach, le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudisha b'richu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, damiram v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories forever be a blessing.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone, and I just want to give a huge thank you to Hannah and Linda, who served as our greeters this evening, and Andrea, who served as our greeter this evening. And I want to turn it over to Linda on behalf of the Temple Board to talk about some of our awesome things that are coming up ahead.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Good evening. My name is Linda Rubin, and I am happy to be here on behalf of the Board of Directors. It is my pleasure to share with you our upcoming services and programs for the weekend. As a reminder, all of our Zoom links and virtual details can be found in your weekly emails. If you do not receive weekly emails from TBE, please contact our Temple Administrator, Carrie, and she can sign you up. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., please join Cantor Elan for the Shabbat liturgy class, which will explore the meaning and beautiful melodies of our Shabbat morning service. Then at 5 p.m. tomorrow, please join Pam Tarlow for the meditation class. This class is filled with beautiful songs, guided chants, and meditations for the soul. We look forward to having you join us at 7 p.m. tomorrow for our Slihot service, a special service that prepares us for the upcoming days of awe. This service will be filled with the beautiful, uplifting, and soul-searching music of our special guest, Nishima Carlbeck. And finally, every morning at 9 a.m., we continue with our Elul reflection programs during this month of Elul. Each day you will hear the resounding sound of the shofar and listen to High Holy Day reflections from members of our community. This program is offered on Facebook Live and our Temple Beth El YouTube page. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Linda, for all of those announcements. We certainly have a lot that's coming up with the High Holy Day season, and I really, really encourage everyone to come tomorrow night. Even if coming to a Slichot service is not something you've ever done before, this is going to be a really, really special one, and it could be an opportunity from the comfort of your home to just drop in and see what it's all about. Just check it out for a little while. Neshama Karlibach is truly a beautiful soul, and she's going to be sharing a story that is vulnerable and heart-wrenching and uplifting, and I think will put us exactly in the right place to begin this High Holy Day season as she shares some of her absolutely stunning music. So I hope that you'll be a part of that, and a part of just everything else that is coming up ahead. We have so much, and we look forward to seeing you at all of it. So with that, I hope you'll also stay around so that we can go into our breakout rooms.
Absolutely, rabbis. So we're going to go into our Oneg breakout rooms at this time. I hope that you all enjoy spending some time with your friends and chatting over this Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.